Our Allie Kramer's standing by. She was there in the room during this news conference. You heard the emotion there in City Councilman Johnson's voice, in Mayor Aftab Pureval's voice. Everyone, if I had a better word, I would say they're disgusted by what happened and what we've seen recently with gun violence, Allie.
Well, yeah, and dumbfounded. And they said, look, Colonel Mike John said, I have no words. I said, because I asked him, you know, this has to be pretty brazen. Officers were already there on Main Street responding to a disorderly conduct call. The SWAT team, the additional personnel were standing right there, but that still didn't stop at least two shooters, they say, from firing into the crowd of people. So, you know, they are sort of at a loss. What more do we do? They've already got the overtime funding. They already have the additional personnel that are working every night on the weekends to make sure that that area is safe. And they kind of said, look, we're aware that there are a lot of crowds in the last 6 weeks or so in these streets and over the Rhine, and so that's why they've added that additional personnel. Colonel Mike John could not have commended his officers enough, because look, they were not only there responding, but he tells us that Officer Joe Shook, who's with the traffic unit, was there, and he's the officer who fired a single shot. They're not sure if that hit the suspect, but that officer saw the suspect that they're looking for firing the gun and returned fire. And so he just said, look, the officers that responded to the scene were so immediate and just were able to kind of give those life-saving measures. He mentioned tourniquets. Doctors at UC say, look, the fact that that is standard issue with Cincinnati police, that they have a tourniquet as part of their uniform and they're able to use that, that absolutely saves lives. You know, I want to tell you that he did elaborate 9 people were shot, ages 23 to 47, and that they've all have been released from the hospital. So non-life-threatening injuries, 8 males and 1 female. And they're not sure, look, if they were part of sort of this altercation that was happening at Main and Woodward, or if some of them were, you know, absolutely innocent bystanders. They're kind of still trying to work through some of that. They do believe, again, that there were at least 2 shooters. And Councilman Scotty Johnson, man, he has been around a long time. He said this is unacceptable, and it's about personal accountability. He says, so somebody out there absolutely knows who did this. And many people out there probably know. And so he said, look, this isn't a matter of snitching on other people. It's about holding your friends, your family members, whoever may be involved in this, accountable by speaking up and being able to tell them. All in all, they believe about 15 shots were fired. 9 people hit by that, and that 15 includes the 1 shot from Cincinnati Police Officer Joe Shook. All of this kind of culminating after a physical altercation again while officers were on the scene. So we've been talking with business owners. There were some business owners here in the room because, look, they want to know, what more can we be doing? We're giving you the surveillance video. We're calling when we have issues. But Adrian, you know, it's a lot of sort of that partnership that you have to have.
Absolutely. Allie, you know, we Madeline Otterly was out early. We heard a little bit from her right at the top at noon, right before we went and through to that news conference. She had actually talked to a woman who was out there, was grazed by a bullet, talking about just how unfortunate it is that people were in the line of fire, that people were at risk last night. I just want you to, if you can, because you were in that room, and sort of take us in there. Mayor Pureval was talking about the other shooting that happened last night down at the banks. They don't believe that they were tied together, but he did rather poignantly tie them together in what they actually mean for our, not only Cincinnati and the greater Cincinnati area, but really what we're seeing in the U.S. right now.
Well, yeah, and he did. He said the shooting at the banks last night was unrelated, but this is the 4th mass shooting in Cincinnati so far this year, is what they were telling us. And so he said, look, this is the fact that people cannot solve their problems in Cincinnati without gunfire. So in both instances, they believe that the shooting in Over-the-Rhine and at the bank started with a fight that became a physical altercation, and then they are unable to keep it to just that because guns are so readily available, is what the mayor was saying in our community, and that somebody is so quick to turn to violence, even with Cincinnati police officers right there. So it's not an issue that some of these areas are unsafe necessarily, he says, for the ordinary person going out, but it certainly feels that way when we are continually talking about mass shootings at big events, large gatherings. You remember Smale Riverfront Park last year at the 4th of July. So things like that are kind of where they're trying to engage the community to come back, and more harping on that personal accountability.
Absolutely. That is the takeaway from this, personal accountability. Allie, we appreciate your reporting in this. There's still much more to come. Lots of conversations, of course, to be had after the shooting. Again, 9 people shot this morning on Main Street in Over-the-Rhine. We'll have much more tonight right here on WCPO 9. You can look for the latest as well on WCPO.com. With that, we'll send you back to our regular program.